No.
The one I sent, sorry.
On
that
the
was from, like,
calendar.
the first time we met.
I can be
You said
sarcastic
1
with
hour.
you. Way to go, Kapua. Mess
Well,
up everybody's schedule.
Okay.
no, we scheduled it in the meeting, in the middle of the meeting.
So maybe
Okay.
keep it to 5 minutes.
We can do about 10 minutes because our mission won't take long.
Anything you want to start? What stood out to you?
I'm sorry, we got through what, the first 2 chapters last week?
No. Was it just
I want to say
the
we got
prelude?
to like,
I have a line drawn into that second chapter, so I was just assuming, but I don't know.
I want to say we got talked about the third chapter very little.
Okay,
That's what I say. I think we didn't get very far.
okay, so starting, if there's anything left for chapter 3.
Right.
The scripture blending on where.
Where were we? Chapter 3. I did write something on rebranding,
Tomorrow?
but did that say tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going on right now. I don't know why it says tomorrow. No.
That not work.
I circled this, but I don't. know
Oh,
why
here we
it's in
go.
the
Yeah,
reading
that's fine.
anyway. I mean, I think I know why, but.
What
on
page, Lisa?
Let's see, on page 23,
Mhm.
towards the bottom. I put a box around, we are called to do life-changing work. And then I wrote an arrow that says, students and parents, years later, remember something you did when you taught them. And then as educators, we are called to believe that our impact on students is far-reaching and world-changing.
Mhm.
We do not possess that relentless belief for our kids. Our work in the schoolhouse is in vain. Change the world, teach. So it's not about just get that lesson plan done, make sure they know that standard. It's kind of like thinking forward, trying to change the world, which you do, I guess.
Also underlined in that, within that same paragraph, the belief we have for our students that they will be the change to transform the world is a necessary riff for all educators to play. It reminded me of what Marcia Tate's been doing like through her professional learning with us. You know, she shared about the Pygmalion effect, about self-efficacy. Like if you believe in kids or in people, most of the time they're gonna rise to what you believe.
I know people say that a lot, but I really think I think that you saying things or whatever, having kids believe those things is true. And then also you can do that for yourself. Like I saw that through, like, you can almost trick yourself into being happy and then you will be not happy, but you're going to be okay. Like you can kind of be.
It's a mindset.
Right.
Mhm.
And then you're like, oh.
Well, it's the same thing with this vision and mission work that we're doing. If all of us don't buy into it and truly believe it and want to live it and live it out, then other people aren't gonna buy into it too. So that's why it's really important as we're doing this, if there's something we don't agree with or we feel like needs to be changed, like speak up, because if it's not something that we can believe in and hold on to, then it's not gonna be bon vivant.
I highlighted everything y'all said. I even drew an arrow, same thing, same place you did.
So yeah, I highlighted that's similar stuff too.
When I read that part, I really thought about how, you know, our words and our actions, especially with groups of students, and how impactful that can be and how hurtful it can be. Like almost making predictions for kids. You know, when I think about elementary kids, they can really, truly change their trajectory. I mean, that's really the time to mold them. And for us to be really careful of not like deciding their future already at second grade. You know, you hear that you can decide how many prison beds you're going to need in by third grade.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, that's wow. Like by 8 years old, you're going to decide a child's fate.
Mhm. The interlude starts out, the title's carving out, here comes the sun's face. And so I know third grade, we've talked about this, but like this room, Kapu and I have these plans that unfortunately COVID put on hold for us this year. But we're wanting that this room to be that, like, here comes the sun space. And in the sentence it says, there's a time and place for whimsical notions to transpire, and we do have to give ourselves permission for the occasional escape. And so that's kind of, when I read that, I thought, yeah, that's what we're wanting to do with this room in here, and turn that into, we're wanting to target social emotional wellness for the staff, not just the kids. Like, we know the kids need it, but our staff needs it too. And so, like, I think it was Carly maybe who said, like, yeah, over there we need to paint a big sunshine on the wall, and this will be our here comes the sun space.
And then we had a long conversation. I was like, I don't know if that would look right. And then we talked about it. And I was
Yes.
like, okay.
I'm okay
It
with
was,
that.
it was funny.
Yeah, we brought in a,
Eric Carl, thinking like,
Mhm.
everybody could do their own paper cut
Mhm.
pieces, you know?
Yes,
Make
yes.
like a collage.
Yeah.
we brought in an interior designer and had it completely designed, and we had everything on wish list, and we had
Wow.
approval to do the fundraisers.
Mhm, mhm.
We even had the letters ready to go, but we
Yeah.
kinda just had to put it on hold this year.
what Christie was helping with.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That, when I asked you what we were supposed to read, because I didn't know, I'd already started reading into the interlude. This was last week, I guess, the end of last week. And I mean, it definitely, for the time of my emotional state that I was going through, it like totally hit home. Because that part about an intentional move to gather time for renewal can stir inspiration in those unexpected ways. And then I've been guilty for forsaking balance and meaningful time with family to meet that district deadline or network or other tedious event. And it's not because of pressure that other people put on me, it's pressure that something I did to myself. And I think that if you have a place where it's okay to have your own time or whatever, like for everybody, like everybody knows that, and then, you know, it's a valuable thing, you'll do it more for yourself. So
I'll
it's important.
piggyback off you on that. I'm super hard on myself. And like, you know, right now I've got a blue million things going on. And so like when I go home during the week, go from one computer to the next. And so I've been trying really on the weekends to like give myself some time, especially because Luke comes home and he's gone throughout the weeks, and, you know, I want to spend time with him. And so like on the weekends, I've been trying to really like push aside like my work and my schoolwork and all of that, and, you know, make time for not only me, but him as well. So I also got that from this, because I was like, I really spend a lot of time like doing stuff, you know, that I feel like I need to get done, but at the same time, like some of this stuff can wait.
I like to do something that makes me forget about everything else. And so for me, it's tennis. When I get out there, I'm not thinking about my kids complaining or my kids wanting something or schoolwork or, you know, I'm just like enjoying the weather, the competition, the exercise. Like, I don't think about anything else. I think we all need that. Mental health.
Mhm.
So outside of the interlude starts chapter 4. If y'all are done, I don't mean to rush y'all.
I don't
Don't-
know, did we,
Don't feel like I'm
was
rushing
that
you.
part of?
But I don't
Have
know.
we gotten
I
to
think-
chapter 4 yet?
I think we
so.
stopped at the first interlude
Okay.
for this group.
Because I had a lot of things to say about that too. Sorry. I also highlighted some stuff about rebranding too within those chapters.
So,
I know third grade read to the next interlude.
Yeah,
I thought it was U3 adding praise and thanks. That's a lot.
Piggyback on everyone, even on page 27. It's allowing ourselves the time to break away from the grind is essential to our well-being. And that kind of goes with the whole idea of transforming Mondays. I know we're gonna get into that when we continue to read it. But that's kind of what Crafting Club has done for a group of us, is not so much that we're crafty. I'd like to think I've become crafty over these Thursdays, but it's the time we've spent with some of the most random people in the building. And it's the conversations that are had.
that are not even
school
school related.
If people come to us and they want to talk to me school related, I just get glares from everyone else in the group, like, this is not the time, this is our breakaway time. And it is so crucial because, when you think about the statistics, I think it's like almost up to 50% retention rate for new teachers within the first 5 years. That was the previous research on it. And so much of it comes down to your well-being, and then you tie it to student efficacy, and the most highest effect rate is a teacher, like that teacher relationship, was it?
Yeah.
And so it's a cyclical effect. In order to be the most effective person for your students, you've got to be the most effective person for yourself, which comes down to well-being. And that's kind of what has driven Kim and I. And we're moms, and we've seen like how much time we miss with our kids and all of that over time, and how it will weigh on your decision to want to continue education. And so that's important. Like, not only do we value it, but like we truly believe in it as part of our league goals and everything else too.
Anyone have anything else?
Do you want to read to the next interlude?
I will suggest playing the Beatles while you read this. It's kind of fun. If no one else has done that.
I Googled some of the songs because I'm not a
Yeah.
Beatles fan. I didn't know some of these.
I put it on my iTunes.
Yeah.
And played Here Comes the Sun as I read it. Or the one where they switch to like the Indian beat.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really hear it in the music.
So what was third grade? I know this is where we stopped last time. Did we decide to go to All You Need Is Love?
I think we decided to
Finish it.
finish it. Isn't that what we decided, y'all?
No, because we didn't talk about chapter 6 at all.
Yeah, I think,
We didn't talk about chapter 6 with any of the people.
Yeah, we did.
I don't have anything.
so it's what, Hannah and Lisa, Alicia, Lauren, and Liz. So if we meet in 2 weeks to get y'all up on schedule with us, would it be too much to ask y'all to read through All You Need Is Love? That's page 79.
I think that's fine. I mean, it's a quick read.
It is, and it's fun, easy read, but I mean, I know it's also spring break, so I mean, it'll take you a couple hours to read. I mean, don't just, take your time on it, but that way we can all get caught up on it and share more of our insights.
So read All You Need Is Love also, or stop?
Yeah, read through to that, because the praise and thanks, that's just the little, thank you for helping me write this book kind of a deal. So that All You Need Is Love's the last chapter. So, so going from that interlude on page 25, we just finished that. So the next chapter, 29 through 79. Are y'all, is that okay with
You're
you?
read it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're yeah. Alicia, is that good?
I'll be all right.
Tyler? Okay, Lauren and Liz, okay. So we can do that,
So have it all of that read
yeah,
by the next rebranding meeting.
yeah.
When is the next? It's after, it's like the 13th or the 13th. The 13th is on 13th.
That's 2 weeks after
Yes,
spring break.
and Kapua and I won't be here for that. Did you get the invite from Laura, or I don't know if she sent it to APs yet, for milestones training? Yeah, yay. So we have that milestones training at the high school from 2:30 to 4:30.
Day before emerging leaders.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it'll just be the book study part. So I don't want to mess up y'all's schedule.
I think most could meet on Monday too, to switch it to Monday again.
I'll let you guys decide.
I'm fine with switching it to Monday so they could be here if that's what everybody wants to do.
And Monday, I'm good. I just have to leave by 4 because it's the board meeting that day.
12 instead of
Oh,
13.
I have it till
Yeah.
4 PM. I don't have it till 4:15.
Then why does my thing keep saying 3:15 to 4:15?
I have it till
Probably the
4.
way you saved it in your phone. It probably automatically does an
But
hour.
I was about to say, I wonder if it automatically does the full hour then.
So, okay, so we know what our vision is. And so we talked at the last rebranding about using a PLC to deliver the mission statement, like options, choices that we came up with, to let our staff vote on the one that they like the best. And then we'll find ways to reach our other stakeholders, and whether it be like a poll on Facebook for our parents. Yeah, like, we can even do like a QR code that we can pass out in the car line, school council, like you said, get it from our kids. So we just want to involve, as many of our stakeholders as possible. And so at our last meeting, we talked about, okay, hold on, back up. So that's what PLCs are for this Wednesday. And let me also put a plug in at 1:00. Rigo's March was National Women's Month, and so he has a parade planned with his kids. And so if you want to step out with your kids and watch that. For those of you who've been at City Park, it's the route around the school that Hannah usually has planned for all the marches. It's I think they're starting at the playground, and then they'll end up at Jones Street entrance. So 4th and 5th, that doesn't really apply to anyone here, but we had to change their PLCs so we could participate with Rigo. But anyway, so PLCs will deliver these 3. We're not going to take up much time in PLCs, but we still wanted to meet just so we could get teacher feedback and input on it. And so at the last meeting, we came up with a mission that took like an hour for us to wordsmith. And then when it was over, so Hannah and I sat here and we were talking about some other things, and Kirsten, Carly and Tyler I think they were just sitting over here talking, and then with the 4 of us just started talking together. And so we came up with 2 more mission statements based on all the mission statements and the conversation that we had. And but the one word that's different is we started using the word legacy. And it was something in Pepper Effect. And I think maybe you read something from
Well,
it.
and we also talked about the city park activity, and we kept talking about the tradition that people saw in our school building, and somehow we came up with the word legacy.
We're wanting to do
Kind of like my
okay,
dad
so like
and the
Kapu and I
pizza.
try to think of fundraisers in our auditorium. Like every time Dawn comes over, we get like, a 20-minute history lesson, Dawn Amonette, about all these people who have been through the school. And so we started talking about like the legacy of City Park. And then like some of the things that we told you about that we wanted to do, like bring back the plaques that have like who the teachers of the year and the parents of the year, like that's part of our City Park legacy. And we talked about maybe doing like shadow boxes with past years of City Park t-shirts, just not the commit one. And and showcasing that and like finding a wall that we can dedicate to like the legacy wall. And so that word legacy came out. So we came up with 2 more that we wanted to present to y'all to see what you think and see if these would be the 3 that we would give to staff.
Legacy was also kind of Dr. Hawkins' thing with induction. He always wanted to, he asked at induction a few years, like, what is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be as an educator?
Yes, yes,
If you leave from now, and what do you want your students to be saying about you?
yes. And I just love that whole concept. And so that green is the one that we spent the whole hour trying to put together. And so we are dedicated to nurturing the physical, social, emotional, academic, and creative growth of our children by providing opportunities of hope, celebrating successes, and empowering them. And yeah, that whole thing throws it off, like, I don't know, empowering each other, something. And so, as we talked last meeting, we talked about how we like the physical, the social, emotional, the academic, and the creative, but you kind of run out of breath. So we thought, okay, we kind of shortened it a little bit. We said our legacy is dedicated to developing the physical, social, emotional, academic, and creative growth of our children. So, and then we came to, we will build on our legacy by providing opportunities of hope, celebrating successes, and empowering our families. So we came up with those. When we adjourned last time, we said, think of if there's any more mission statements that you want to throw into the mix. And so I guess we're at the point where, did anyone have any other mission statements that they would like us to consider before we present to the staff? Do you want to change anything on this? Do we want to present these? Add another option? Kind of where we are.
I put one on the discussion thing before I knew about these, but these are probably better. I'll have to look it up.
I really like how it says empower graphic communities, because I think that, I mean, we do a lot of stuff with our families, with our kids here, when we used to do all our, our family nights, obviously.
I put, we're dedicated to providing opportunities to nurture the physical, social, emotional, academic, and creative growth to empower our children to dream, believe, and achieve.
Yeah, I like that too.
But see, I like the beginning of some of the others.
I like the
with
legacy.
the ending of that,
I would say with the first one, if we're gonna present that, I know the them at the end kind of throws things off, but if
Yeah.
you think about the cycle of what it would go, you could even put providing opportunities of hope, empowering them, and celebrating their successes.
Yeah, that can be flipped.
It would just be kind of
Mm-hmm.
in alignment
would
of
flow better.
progression.
In the mission, Dr. Scott is gonna ask us to repeat this.
Well,
Is that right?
he just, he hasn't done it at all this year. Like last year, we put, there's not one up here, that paper that he had us all post in our room, and he told us that if he came by, he would expect you to know it, because that's what we live by.
Okay.
And so in DAT, in our district admin meetings, you might randomly, Kapua, what's our mission? So you better know it. But that was the district, but he does expect us to know our school and district mission.
I think that's just something to.
Yeah.
I
Not
just
want
think
it to
the
be
first
so
one is
lengthy.
very wordy, because if you take the beginning of it and the end of it is just as wordy. Like,
Yeah.
I like the beginning of it. It's just the ending is also wordy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of commas.
I like the legacy part. the beginning
Yeah.
of the second one.
I mean, we could say our legacy is dedicated to providing opportunities of hope, celebrating successes, and empowering our families.
Mhm.
Instead of like, and just take out, we will build on them.
I like them.
So we can present these to the staff and leave space for them, because when we did this I almost said Tiger Creek. That was like 30 years ago. What's it called? Blue Ridge. When we did this at Blue Ridge, like if we gave y'all this to vote on, and we might cross out what we didn't like on the first one and circle what we liked on that second one. And, and then some would put in the comments a new mission statement that they came up with as they read that too. And so, we can offer that as well. And then we thought about doing it digitally, but I kind of think we're going to do paper and pencil with our teachers. That way we have those papers and we bring them back here and we can spread them out and look at them. And, because we'll do the final wordsmithing of it based on the feedback and the data that we get from our stakeholders.
I think that's a good place to start for those three. And then, if anybody else has anything that they want to add or think that we might need to take away, then they can write a note at the bottom of it. And then we can, like you said, take all of the data and look back at it.
At what point do we want to bring the Stevens in to kind of think about, because at least nothing else, we have a shell of a mission and vision.
Yeah.
At what point do we want to bring him in to look at branding ideas?
I think as soon as we have that finalized, which I'm hoping that we can, get all that done and presented this week. And then by our next one, we'll have that and, ready to go on for next steps.
Have the data.
With parents though, when do you want to start getting that stuff out? After we hear from the teachers?
What do y'all think?
Should we give parents
I think
three
from the
options?
teachers first.
Have something ready.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Because we could improve it after teachers look at it. There could be something valuable that comes out of it.
Are we giving parents the choice though to vote as
Why don't
well?
we do some optional Zoom meetings to get feedback? Have we looked into translating it?
Yes, last
Oh
time.
yeah, we'll need to do that too. I can
I
get,
wonder how legacy translates.
Someone was here last time. Oh, for
Esme.
student teachers.
How would legacy translate, Alicia?
I would have to look it up.
I'm trying to Google
But I have.
It's like we
I
have a
used that
wonderful
word
person right
before.
over here.
I would just have to look it up to make sure. I can tell you,
I gotta look at my,
'cause I started thinking about that. And I was like,
Legato, patrimonio, dejado. That's done, never mind.
yeah, it's legato. Mhm. Yeah, Freud has left a legacy that affects psychiatry. I can't even speak to this day. Yeah, legacy, handed down legato. Yeah. That would be it.
So we're all good on presenting these three and then meeting back in 2 weeks. What's the date?
the April 12th. So it's 2 weeks after spring break.
Okay,
Oh yeah, 2 weeks. That gives everyone time to read.
yeah.
And that gives us time to
Actually, we have
collect our
3
data.
weeks.
If you count
If you
spring
count
break.
Count
spring
spring break. So y'all
We're not
better get
counting
on it.
that.
I mean, I'd be reading at on vacation.
Okay. So we'll work on collecting that data and once we have that, we'll go over it. That'll be our next steps, is to look at that and then come up with our next steps. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas? All right. I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.